researchers found that only 6% of people end up in the career they dreamed of as a child. Obviously, many conditions can cause you to veer from the path to becoming the firefighter or astronaut or ballerina you once thought you'd be. But this dismal number proves that many people's lives don't go the way they planned. Though often this is a good thing, thank God I didn't pursue that DJ career, our broken dreams can leave us feeling disappointed and affect the way we view our worth and potential. The reality is that we don't always accomplish all that we set out to do. Our lives don't always turn out the way we hope they would. We dream of a relationship with a certain person, a career path, or a perfect family, and when those dreams don't work out, like my own relationship didn't, we're left to wonder. Where do I go from here? What do I dream of now? Should I throw in the towel? Because God gives us free will, we get to experience what it looks like to mess up and destroy our lives. And mess up our lives we often do. While working as a youth pastor and dating long distance, I refused to listen to the advice of others and even the voice of God about ending my relationship. I had my dream, and I was set on making it happen. Because of this, I was ignoring people I should have been more focused on. The youth ministry I was running was shrinking, and I started failing at what God had called me to do. I could barely look people in the eye. Eventually, I came out on the other side of the heartbreak with an understanding of God's better plan. But my decisions delayed my destiny, and it took a while to truly move past the pain of the whole experience. The prodigal dream. My story, like yours, is beautifully depicted in Jesus' parable about the prodigal son in Luke 15. It's the story of a father with a son who asked for his inheritance early. Though the father knew the request was a bad idea, he granted it, and in return, the boy took the money and squandered it. With his free will, the son pursued his dream. He chased after what Jesus described as wild living in verse 13. And ultimately, he failed. He failed hard. The father in the story knew his son was headed for disaster. You want to test the waters out there? He probably thought. You want to go mess up your life? That's fine. I would love to protect you from all of that, but you made your choice. Jesus said that once the son's money ran out, he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country who sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. He went from living the dream to living in the pen with pigs and even longing to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating. Verses 15 and 16. It's while the son was filled with disappointment and coping with his failure that the story takes a turn. Jesus told us that when the son was in the pen, he started to remember his father's house. He started to recall his father's servants and how even they had food to eat and a bed to sleep in. So he got up and went to his father. Verse 20. In his darkest moment, he remembered that things were better his father's way. He didn't know if his father would accept him back as a son, but he did leave the pen with the confidence that whatever his father had for him, it would be better than his current situation. The story ends with the father, a picture of God and his perfect love for us, running to his son, throwing his arms around him, bringing him back into the family, and honoring him with a huge party. It's what Kanye West and I like to call the God dream. And it's what God, your Father, is waiting to give you. Despite your brokenness, despite the failure of your own plan, God is still ready to take you into his future. When you find yourself in the pen or in the car making the phone call, remember how God views your broken dream. He looks at you and says, your most recent failure is only a minor setback for a major comeback. Success often looks different from the way the world paints it. God's plan is so much more than a career gain or financial security. When we fail to hit the targets we've set, we often beat ourselves up or fail to see the better future God has in store. It took me an embarrassingly long time.